Welcome to Paper Gold Deep Dive Excavation, episode number 10, where we interview one of our Paper Gold members. And today we're going to be interviewing Troy, and we're going to have her introduce herself. Troy, you'll tell us a little bit about your operation, maybe how you came into the Paper Gold Patreon group. And
Okay.
then, as always, we're going to do a deep dive into some of the dilemmas, some of the frustrations, some of the things you just need answers to propel your business forward.
Mhm.
Um, and so, by with no further ado, we'll just have you introduce yourself and tell us where you are geographically and your operation.
Okay, so I'm in Southern California, just north of Los Angeles, actually between Los Angeles and Santa Barbara, in a town called Oxnard, so near Ventura. And my store is TCAT's Treasures, and I have been on eBay on and off since December 1999. And prior to this, my work was I've been a writer for most of my life. So I was a very young newspaper reporter at the age of 18, went to freelance journalism, editor, and then ran my own indie publishing company. And things changed. And we, with the economy around 2008, put everything into another business that had been pushed aside that my husband had, which was a service business. And now I am 65. During the pandemic, service businesses weren't doing that great. So I thought, let's go back to eBay. And I started, like everybody does, looking for the cutesy things, whatever. But I've always, as a writer, I've always loved books. And so I thought, there's got to be a way to do this. And I watched Mel from Burnout, who's in Australia. And I thought, well, maybe the Australian market's different than the US because I couldn't like you're buying the books at what prices I'm getting, but you're selling them for this a lot more money. I don't quite understand it. And then I saw an interview Mel did and I was trying to get into books. I had started. Not a lot of people I knew on anything, any other resellers were doing books. And then I saw the interview with you, Max, and I'm like, dang, this has got to be able to work. And then right after that, I saw the stuff on Instagram, Paper Gold, and I said, that's it. That's what I'm doing. So I signed up
Mhm.
like immediately. So I've been there from day one, and thank goodness, because I was going nuts talking to other people who resell but had no interest in books.
Yeah,
And
it's
so,
interesting because according to my numbers, you were the second person to sign up with us.
oh
So
wow.
you have been there since day one, um, probably hour one that we actually became official. So we thank you for that. Quick question though,
Yeah.
you have a lot of books. We can clearly see that behind you or next to
Mhm.
you, and so that tells me you were a book shopper. You were buying books
Oh,
your life.
yes, I've always been surrounded by books. So,
So
books have been my life.
So when you went to bookstores and
Hmm.
you started having these ideas of maybe you selling books,
Hmm.
did you never try to encounter a Q&A with some of these bookstores on how they did it?
No, I never really thought about it. I did follow certain YouTubers, like with the Amazon, and I won't say who they are, but where they go, oh, you too can do this. And, with the scanning and all, and I'm watching, I'm going, there's got to be more to it than just scan, scan, scan.
Right,
I wasn't really interested in that, just doing that.
right.
I like books, so I like if I see a book, go, wow, this looks cool, and I like selling, magazines. Now I do. I
Yes.
had magazines, magazines and other things that are in the book media, if you would,
Hmm.
comic books, whatever. I didn't want to be limited to just scan these things and send them off to
Right.
Amazon. And I did look at a lot of things like that, but I kept coming back to I like books, and I sent you a note about I'm a romantic about books, so I like being around them,
Yeah.
and I prefer having more of a relationship, I think, with who I'm sending a book to in a way.
I love that.
which
Yeah.
is which is why I'm hesitant about one of the reasons why I'm hesitant about Amazon, even though I do listen to what, since Koty's an Amazon guy, trying to gather that information and see if I would fit that in. Because I used to sell merchant fulfilled on Amazon as well. I
Okay.
still have an account there, but I never did, FBA.
Mhm. That's interesting. So you like the idea of the relationship with the book. Does that
Mhm,
include the book hunting and the book sourcing? You're going to estate sales
mhm,
because I know you want to build your store up. So
mhm.
where are you getting your books now?
Um, right now I have a lot of books, but no, I do. I mentioned I have an abundance of certainly bread and butter books.
Right.
What one of the things I really like doing and I enjoy immensely, because I like research, I like puzzles, so I like putting together book sets. So when we're talking about science fiction and fantasy, for example, there are a lot of people, you can sell one book or a couple of books, but when there's like 12 books in a series, people really like getting the 12 books.
Right.
And I like putting those together and finding them and then, aha, I now have a set. I get all excited about it. I mean, that I really enjoy it. So where am I getting them? Library bookstores, sometimes free pickups. Last night I did a free pickup of 85 comics.
Oh, beautiful.
I couldn't believe I was doing it. I usually don't go out on and at night when it's raining. So, but I did.
Okay, so
And
let me pause you there.
yeah,
What made you want to go out and get that specific brand of 85 comics? What was it about those comics?
one, I was kind of number one in line asking for them. I don't know. When you look on Facebook Marketplace, sometimes you get a vibe. I get vibes about people, I get vibes about books. And it was just like, it seemed to be a mom. So it was not like some dude going, oh, these are worth $5,000, come on down, Um, and she actually asked her son to pick out who should get them,
Oh, okay.
and he picked me. So I'm like,
Okay.
cool. All
Interesting.
right.
Interesting.
So I ran and got them. I do like the rush. I'm not, I like the idea that I can't not stop somewhere. If I've got an appointment somewhere, I know where I'm going to go
Right.
afterwards. So if I'm have an appointment out of town, I go, okay, is this library bookstore open? Is this thrift store open? And then I plan a route so that I can go.
So for me, and we've been talking weekly now for months.
Mm-hmm.
For
Yeah.
me, how big do you want, at 65, you're at retirement age.
Yes.
Doesn't mean you have to retire, but it means
No.
something financially. What how big do you want your business to become?
I want it to grow a little more in terms of monetary, so that there is backup funding. I mean, we're still going to have a service business in the background. I'm not retiring anytime soon. And I was talking to Koty about this, how, it's not just that I'm part-time, it's also, my age. I'm thinking, can I do this until I'm 75? Sure, why not? Um, if I, and hopefully I will make it to 75. I can't do what you and Koty are doing, be that large, but I would like to bring in more money, weekly to put away for whatever, or to cover certain things.
So, Koty, tell me what you think about what I'm about to say. I think she needs to decide on that number that she's not sort of saying out loud, figure out what that number is, and then work towards that number that she would like to become.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's a good point to strive for, but also, what you're comfortable doing, you can only go so
Mhm.
far with what you're comfortable doing in your situation.
Right.
Um, but I think that is kind of a good transition to, what I was going to mention, if we're good kind of moving to that
Yeah.
topic. Um we always like to start off by asking what the biggest pain point is, but I think we've already kind of established that you have limited time. You're doing this part time. You're wanting to
Hmm.
bring in more money. You love your books, and it's hard,
Yeah.
to specialize in certain ones. And I, you know me because I push you on this during our show, but
Hmm.
I think that with what you're saying, taking that leap of faith and trying doing Amazon and doing FBA is the way to go. And I'll tell you this for multiple reasons. There's no better place to be if you're selling books part-time than on
Hmm.
Amazon. I say that without hesitation because when you're doing part-time, you have to be sourcing a lot in order to generate enough revenue to the point of what you're wanting
Hmm.
to get. And
Hmm.
when you're locked down to your chair taking pictures, doing shipping, doing all of that, it is I mean that it takes a huge part of that time out.
Right.
So when you think of it in the other term of, okay, well, if it takes me, it's going to take you in the same time it takes you to do three listings on eBay. You could probably have a box ready to go, a box of 30 plus books ready and packaged up to be shipped into Amazon. Okay.
Hmm.
You're not handling the shipping. You're not handling any of the customer questions, handling any of the returns. All of that is being done. Your job is basically finding good books, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what you love the most about what you do is the hunt for the books and finding
Hmm.
the stuff that you. Now I know you have a particular genre you love to stick into, but I really do think that it is going. You have done the hard work already. You have an Amazon account. You already have
Hmm.
it. It exists. That's usually the biggest hurdle for most people
Yeah.
to get over is getting the account and just starting it. So
Hmm.
I really think, and this also tags into another question you had, which was the best scouting tool for eBay. Even if for some reason you decide not to go into Amazon,
Hmm.
I would really recommend getting a tool like Scout IQ, right? Because even
Hmm.
though prices can fluctuate between the market, you're going to be able to identify a valuable book much faster using that for the majority of your books. Now, like a lot of books that have no barcodes, no ISBN, they can still have great value. Um, and you have the Amazon Seller app too, I assume, right?
Yep. Yep.
So even with those books, the majority of them have an easily identifiable cover. So you scan that with Amazon Seller app, copy that ASIN over into the Scout IQ tool, and you'll be able to see a lot quicker. For the majority of the books, like we always talk about, don't just go red and green. But you've been listening, you
Right.
understand that those numbers and what numbers to be looking for the ones that you should do some extra digging into. But I think, even if that's your stepping stone, right? If that's your
Hmm.
stepping stone to eventually move into doing stuff on Amazon, utilizing Scout IQ and your already existing Amazon seller app to be able to process your eBay finds much faster than you are right now on eBay. Because obviously you can double check, right? You're not you
Hmm.
I will say 9.9 times out of 10, if a book is not profitable on Amazon, it's
Hmm.
it's not going to be profitable on eBay. The only difference is you may find books that are profitable on Amazon but not profitable on eBay. So maybe you could go back through and you find all the good ones, you pull all those, and then instead of doing the research on all of those, you're just going back through and verifying through eBay that those books are still they still hold value on eBay, the ones that you pulled using the Amazon
There's,
seller, or the
so here's
eBay.
something I was thinking. So if I were to do, say, small FBA,
Hmm.
I don't know. See, what scares me about Amazon is the fact that people go, you got to keep feeding the beast. I'm thinking, gosh, what if I can't keep feeding the beast? I'm going to lose money. So you can let me know on that one. But I was thinking, well, if I had some of that on the side and did the other stuff that I like, which is putting together the sets, and I do this for children's chapter books too. Don't ask
Hmm.
me. I
Okay.
just have loved books since I was a little kid. I was reading it through. So anyway, I could do both. But again, then I think, well, Max talks about building a bookstore, having a bookstore. Well, if I'm putting those books on Amazon and not on my eBay, then I'm not, sort of having a wide variety. How do you decide what to sell to Amazon and what to keep on eBay?
Well, for
Hello,
me
kitty.
that I'm sorry. Oh, you're
Oh,
talking about
no
his cat.
cats. It's okay. G-cat, we got to have cats.
So
This is a great comment, by the this is great that you bring this up.
so I think personally the choice for me and the
Mhm.
way I would imagine you should see this as well, especially if you're utilizing the scouting tools, would be how long it takes to sell, right? So you can
Mhm.
look and see based on Amazon's numbers, once you get a firm understanding on like what the rank is, what the e-score is, okay, should I hold on to this and sell this on eBay, or should I send this into Amazon? Is it going to sell within the next year? The next
Would you be
six
using
months?
Keepa to make that determination?
You only need Keepa when the numbers don't get when the numbers based off of like Scout IQ don't give you enough information, right?
Gotcha. Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so Keepa is only there to help you really understand what a book's value is. So when you have,
Wow.
let's say, like first off, these sets that you're combining, this is a great skill to have even on Amazon. Okay, so you can,
Mhm.
like I showed you the Charlie Brown book set, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
those were
So like
cool.
yeah, that is a set that I put together from Goodwill. Said like they were like 50 cents a piece or something like that. And
Wow.
it's going to be like $150 for the entire 15 volume set on Amazon. These things can be combined and sold on Amazon as well.
Hmm.
But what I would say to you is you're not um doing yourself a disservice by splitting where your inventory is going, right? You're just targeting the best inventory for the best platform. You're still it's you're not you're building yourself up. You don't have to build one specific store up to be building your inventory as a whole. So having
Okay.
your books that are on FBA is doing you just doing good service to you. Having your books that you're doing merchant fulfilled, having your books doing eBay. I would say, once you I would say once you start doing stuff for FBA and you can try and get at least a box a week, which is not hard to do. It's really not. If you can try to get a box a weekend to FBA,
Mhm.
let that be your challenge, and I think you will be so happy with it that it'll be hard for you to not want to push doing the Amazon.
Hmm.
And from there you can I would can go back and continue that merchant fulfilled operation that you have and cross list from your merchant fulfilled to eBay. So you're now selling on these three
Okay.
platforms.
Right.
Now I know you also mentioned platforms like Etsy, Macari, stuff
Mhm.
like that. I'll in full transparency, not that it's necessarily a bad idea to utilize those platforms, but
Mhm.
as a part-time seller, you've really got to make sure that your time that you're investing into this stuff is fruitful for you. And obviously that you enjoy it, but you do want it to be fruitful.
Yeah.
And I think there is such a thing as splitting yourself in too many different directions that you're not able to
Well,
get
that's the
your
thing. I use a cross listing software
Mhm,
that's very simple
mhm.
and it takes seconds at the
Sure.
level I'm at, but I'm paying up for it too. So just,
Yeah, well
that's another cost, but it doesn't take very much. And believe it or not, there's some weeks I will get more from those platforms than from eBay. And if I had to physically do it, which I did try doing, like to Macari, it's impossible. You don't have enough time to handle that. But with the software, I'm able to do it. It just takes a cross list, it's all built in. So it hasn't been too much of a problem.
Yeah, well, at
But
that point, it's just a cost benefit. You've got to weigh the
that's what
two.
I'm trying to figure out right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
as to
and
whether or not that I don't like all my eggs in one basket, so to speak, anyway. But back in the day, there was just eBay, and then there was merchant fulfilled, and that was it. I don't think there even FBA existed, not for regular sellers, not
yeah.
when I did it.
And how long have you had your Amazon account, by the way?
So the Amazon account since before 2008.
So you've probably been grandfathered into what a lot of people are now restricted on. There's a lot of brands that, it's really hard, especially for sellers that are starting now, to get
Mm-hmm.
ungated in just a lot of book categories in general. They have to go and manually. You probably have access to, be able to sell books that most people are unable to sell as well, which is a great thing to have in your back pocket. But as far as trying to divide, I mean, it's like you said it yourself. But what I would say though is if you do continue if you do FBA and you do have merchant fulfilled, I would make sure that my items get listed on Amazon first, and then they get
Mm.
cross-listed to the other platforms because I'm sure you've heard me mention, there can be a hundred different listings for one book on Amazon where people will cross-list from other platforms to Amazon. You want to
Ah,
make sure that you're selling on the listing that Amazon is promoting. They're always going to have one listing for a
gotcha.
book that they're promoting more than others. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're just cross-listing from one from eBay to
That
Amazon,
makes sense.
it's gonna make, you're gonna see a lot. I would imagine a lot less sales on Amazon doing it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And that everybody, there's tons of people that'll help guide you in that direction. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
even you have your Amazon seller app. I would challenge you. I'm sure you have, so let's say some of your sets right now that you probably already have
Mm-hmm.
created. Go take a picture of the spines of those sets that you already
Mm-hmm.
have and see if you get
Mm-hmm.
an Amazon listing to pull up just based off of that
Okay.
complete set series, whatever, and look and see what the numbers look like that people are selling those for on that platform too. So again, I'm always going to try and say, hey, I think this is what's best for you, but at the end of the day, you got to do what you enjoy. But I think you should definitely challenge yourself to at least start sending in a box a week, and
Mm.
for let's say a couple of months, and see what how it starts to perform for you. You know, it
Okay.
it's I think that I personally think if you take the money that you're spending on your cross listing software and invest
Mm-hmm.
that into like a repricer, like reprice it, it's $30 a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to keep your listings competitive with every other listing out there. I think you will see much more return on your investment, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak, than you would be from the others.
Let me ask you this, Troy. Are you hitting your number that you want now?
No.
So Koty is making a phenomenal point, and I'm going to piggyback on that point for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if you just experiment 30 days, one box a week minimum, with
Mm-hmm.
with what Koty is asking you to do,
Yeah.
you're going to find that it's going to propel you to that number quicker, which subsequently will allow you to focus more and covet your eBay business and the customer relationship you want.
Right.
So you can do both.
Yeah,
What
that's what I'm thinking. I will have to step away a little bit from the eBay in order to focus on that for a short time so that I could see how it works.
well, yeah, but we're not saying be negative about the eBay end of it. I'm saying to you
Oh no.
the number you want,
Mm-hmm.
you'll get there quicker because you're already walking by these Amazon ready books. You're already
Mm-hmm.
there. You're already picking books.
Right.
If you just did 1 box a week, it's going to get you to that number you desire, which will now allow you more time to do the eBay and the customer service and building repeat customers and building that romantic bookstore you have in your mind.
Hmm.
You'll be able to dance in both platforms.
I will definitely consider it and put it, I'd have to map it out and see how I would do it. But I'll just give you a point about the romantic part and with the sets.
Uh-huh.
And how I really got turned on to it was I put together a set that I just 3 books and apparently hard to find.
Okay.
And somebody went, when they make a comment about how did you do, my review. And he said, "Oh my God, she actually had all of them." Not to, he knew I was a she, but they had all of them. The person was so beside themselves and excited and couldn't believe that I had put together this set. Like and that's exciting. Like, wow, when you're looking for something like that, and there it is, somebody's put it out there for you to get, you know, and I do it by picking
Right.
these things from different places. But I can see what Koty's saying, and I have tried with the eBay. I think you guys know, I started that listing service, which has helped.
Mm-hmm.
But um,
You can plug it. It's okay. You can plug them.
oh yeah, sorry, I didn't even think about it. But commerce listers, and that e-commerce listers has really helped me focus more time. But also, I think I have to cut down on some of my sourcing because I have so much already that's unlisted.
Can
But I
you
don't
talk
know.
about that a little bit?
Yes, please.
I mean,
Let's talk about it because
I can't see behind you. I don't know where you're hiding it all.
oh, it's in a storage. You have no clue. It's in my family room. It's in my garage. It's in my storage unit. Oh my heavens. It's in my office.
So let me stop right there. You first off, you can get Scout IQ for
Mhm.
a free trial. I don't know if I think it's 2 weeks free
Yeah.
trial.
Okay.
Okay. Take
Okay.
get the Scout IQ, get it linked to your already existing Amazon account, and go into your storage unit. You don't. This mean it will cost you nothing but time, and try and go through those books. Okay, you know
Okay.
how to find the Amazon listing, and if you need help with it,
Okay.
ask us. If there's a listing where you need some help, keep a help with it, ask us. It's going
Okay.
to cost you nothing, but you'll be able to cut down on your inventory so fast. And these books that I'm sure probably are costing you, well, not probably, they are
They
costing
are.
you money. Being in a
They are.
storage unit, right?
Uh-huh.
You have to be able to make the emotional decision to part with them, but you can
Oh yeah.
quickly process those and be able to maybe even have a box by the end of a few hours in there
Hmm.
of just scanning through and processing through what you already have, even the stuff that's in your house, stuff maybe stuff you have to list. Eh, eh, I'm gonna do you enjoy the listing process?
No, I mean, compared to sourcing, no. Who
Well, that
does?
well, I mean, some people do, but that goes straight to the same point that I make is, that listing process is astronomically faster and easier to do when you're doing it on Amazon. You can wait. There's free trials with GoTo Lister too, right? So let's say you get enough books to make several boxes, you
Mm-hmm.
wait, then you get your free trial, so that way that's still not costing you anything to be able to send those books in. Even if after the free trial is over with, you cancel it until you start seeing what comes through, and
Mm-hmm.
then you can continue once you get in it's just the challenge of it being something new and something you're not used to. But
Right.
once you get past that hurdle,
Right.
I really do think you will it not only enjoy how fruitful it can be, but enjoy the time that you get to get back and the space and money you're going to save.
Yeah.
It's like you said, who likes listing? Some people do, but it lets you go and be that person to go and source, but also allowing your inventory to start profiting, start making you
Mm-hmm.
some money. Because that's at the end of the day,
Right.
You're either a book collector or a book seller, and if you're not selling your books,
Exactly.
you're a book collector.
Right.
That's what you are. I'm not saying that you're not selling anything. I'm just saying, when the vast majority of your stuff is still unlisted, it's not doing
No, it's
anything good for
absolutely
you.
true. And when I switched to just focusing on the books, I still have inventory of other stuff
Right.
Right.
that's unlisted because I left it. I bagged it up, I left it, and I focused on the books. And I was in a position where I could do that and not suffer too greatly from it. I'm not, that's the good thing about it. So I mean, I could do that. I know there's a lot of people who could not, and they would have to keep selling everything that they had in order to make their nut.
Hmm.
So I now have to also decide what am I going to do with that stuff. And I've been thinking of different ways just to get it out of my space and not, like I love board games, I love stuff like that. So I have some of that stuff, and it's now I'm sort of like, I like it out of my space.
Well, do you
Then
like it? Do you like it because you're nostalgic about it and you want to own
The
that
board games?
nostalgia? Sure, sure.
No, we're big board game people, card games, board games. And maybe some of it's nostalgia, but no, these are like things that I found like, oh, this is cool. I like that. I like finding interesting things. And, like I have a Dungeons and Dragons Monopoly set. So I got a, you know, that should do well. Everything's there, that kind of thing.
It should do
Um,
well. It should do well. So it's not listed, is what you're saying to us.
that is correct. It's not listed because I left all of that. When I joined Paper Gold, I just decided I'm focusing on that so I can absorb everything I can and just focus on the books. So that Max just gave the evil eye to his poor dog. And and so that's what I've been doing. But now I'm at the point I've absorbed quite a lot of information. I love this group, by the way. Oh my goodness. I so grateful, so happy. People who like books, people who want to sell books. And it's helped my focus with the books. But now it's a question of what do I do with these other things,
Right.
like I
But,
had an offer on a mug. I don't really care.
So
but
so I,
Cody,
I'll just real quick, Max,
yeah,
because I don't want to take the whole show saying, "Hey, get your butt on Amazon," but I do want to get my last point that I will make because I do want Max to be able to help you. If you
Hmm.
choose not to be able to help you continue with what you're doing. My last point would be go through that stuff that you have.
Hmm.
If you do go this route, use Scout IQ, use these tools that you can get for free to start with. And if it's
Hmm.
not good, my recommendation is have your car there ready to go, have boxes or totes,
Hmm.
and make a trip to a place you don't source. And get yourself free from that because
That's what I'm thinking.
yeah, it's not something like it will weigh you down and you'll be surprised. I mean, I'm sure as you know, the majority of books aren't worth anything, right? So
Hmm.
you'll be surprised how much you'll get out just based off of things that aren't really worth your time.
Hmm.
Just because something may have some value doesn't mean it's worth your time to try and get that value.
I will tell you, Cody, I do have Scoutly, the other one.
Okay,
I
sure.
know Scout IQ, but I'm not sure how happy I am with it. But I did that. I had um, all these books about, January is decluttering, and I had these books sitting there, and literally one book and it was a free pickup. Only one book sold out for anything. All of the rest of them, they're totally meh books. They're just like meh. Who would
Yeah,
want these?
so
right.
And
are they still in your house?
no, they're still in my storage. I need to get rid of them because
Mm,
But
this is the thing about time. I'm finding with everything, storage units only open till 7. I wish we were open till 11 o'clock because I'd be there at 11 o'clock at night with time. So I run in, I have an hour, maybe if I'm lucky, 2, and then I'm, pulling books, putting them together in the sets so I could sell them on eBay. And then, so I still have these, they're marked as garbage, but I have to get rid of them. So, and I
so
have started like a pickup where somebody, there's a thrift pickup that'll come and they'll pick up books. They really don't like picking up books, but I put books in there anyway. Most thrift stores do not like picking up books.
No.
They like the clothing, they like the toys, they like stuff like that, you know.
Well,
But
you don't have to worry about the hours of the storage unit if you just go through and pull them out in sections. Go ahead and go in there. You don't have to process it
yes,
there. Go load up your car, bring it
right.
home, leave everything in your car that is not valuable, and leave
This
it
is
there.
too
And
funny.
as soon as you're done,
I
you
already
go
do that.
straight.
I do that to some, you know, like right now I have from a sourcing thing, they're in my car. So I have to get them out of my car. I always have books in my car. This is crazy. Although I brought in the comic books last night.
But
Koty,
my point, sorry, Max, last point. My last point is that you pull those, but as soon as you're boxing these up that aren't worth anything, and as soon as your
Yeah.
car is empty, all those boxes go right in your car. You don't have to take them in the house. When you have the scouting
Right.
tools, you could do it right then, right there.
Well, yeah, I have to, you're right about that. And that's part of why I was thinking about writing a plan of action so that, okay, this is the day where I'm going to take those crappy books. I'm going to box them up. I have to not pay attention to the rest of the books and get them the heck out so that I can make space to do my other things. So it's just a matter of really planning out the time and the action. Because if you don't, you open the storage and go, okay, what am I going to do today? I like going with a plan of action. So you're right. I need to build that in.
I would say in a slightly different way, I don't think it needs to be something that's a plan of action. I think it just needs to be a part of a daily routine, right? So if you can, let's say you go to you're filling the processing all of those. When you're done, you drive to the Goodwill and let them unload your car. Okay. It doesn't have to be, yes, it is obviously convenient to have them come pick the books up, but when they're picking books up, you're having to schedule times and make sure you're there and everybody just go to where you can get the stuff moved. Let it be a part of that daily routine until I would challenge you. This is not going to be easy. I would challenge you to be sourcing from your inventory.
Yep.
Until your inventory is free and clear of all the books that aren't worth anything to you. I would let that be what you're doing first and get yourself to a good fresh start. And again, but Amazon will let you do that much faster than you will be on eBay by leaps and bounds.
I agree with you, but when they announced a new library book sale, it is hard for me not to go.
Sure. I definitely understand that that's hard. I'm just saying that I think that's going to be, that's what's going to allow you to, once you're free of all of that stuff and you get into that routine, get yourself a fresh start where you have a good routine. It will be you'll realize how much better you feel it feels, it's hard to work when you've got all the stuff weighing on you. It's just hard to know what to do next. So once you get to that point, I think you'll realize how freeing it is that it'll be hard for you to go back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I know what you're saying.
Koty, would you agree with what I'm about to say here? She has so many great positive things going for her, both eBay and Amazon. With eBay, she a specific niche she loves, and she loves to delve into that. On Amazon, she has an account already. She has most of the software she needs. She has the books, in the storage area. Everything is going in the right direction. I think you're getting in your own way. I think you are in your own way, and you can't, and you have to listen what Koty's saying. Just get it done. Make it a consistent thing right now. It's going to free up so much more time for you to do the things you really want to do that I can hear and that I know about in the book business. I mean, you have that banner behind you. So little time.
Yep.
I'm telling you now, and this is why you're on the show with us, you are in your own way of your own success right now. And at the same time, you're not that far from success.
Right.
Once you get out of your own way, I
Mhm.
think you're going to launch.
I would even phrase it
I
slightly
hope so.
differently. Instead of being in your own way, it's more so I think your challenge is the and you could tell me if I'm wrong, but just based on, and I'm not picking on you at all when I say this,
Mhm.
you were nervous about being on the show. Like it might be a fear of failure or some a
Mhm.
fear of it not succeeding the way that you want it to, that that
Koty
you
know this? How did Koty know this? Yes, in so many ways. So, not that this has to be part of the final video, but I have some other challenges that are not just that I'm running another business, but there are some health issues of some people in my life that I have to take care of. And I don't always know, I don't always have like, okay, today I have this block of time. Sometimes it changes.
sure.
And so that is a challenge for me. But yes, in some ways, I love this so much. And I had to leave behind because of economic changes. I had to leave behind the publishing business, which what a grueling thing that is. I mean, I had books in the Smithsonian, at the National Zoo, I had a lot of stuff going on. Real books at Barnes and Noble. This is not like, some self-publishing thing. It was an independent publishing house, and but it took so much work, took a lot out of me. And so now I'm kind of going back into books, but in a different way. And I wanted to succeed so much that I do think I get in my own way sometimes. I and I have recognized that, and I've tried to look at it and go, no, you just have to do this. I think I'm very close to being there, and in part truly because of Paper Gold, because I've been around people who care so much about books and sell books and want them to go to new people and all of that. That's helped tremendously, because in the other world of just reselling, nobody really does books or talks about it in a positive light. I mean, I see all the time, even some booksellers, oh, forget the children's books, trash. And I'm thinking, what are you kidding me? People are clamoring for these chapter books that are in a whole set. I can't, I'm like, I would never just say categorically that something's trash. You have to look through it and see what's paper gold. And so that's helped a lot to get me to where I could do this video and sit down with you and sort of analyze, what's going on with me, what might work better. And I'm very grateful for that, because I really do enjoy it. And I don't have to be a 10,000 a book inventory person. I just want to bring in a little more cash flow and make the things I am paying for not just hobby stuff, not just I'm paying for this and I'm not making back the money to not only pay for it, but extra to put away. And that's why I want to look at these tools. What am I paying for that I really don't need? Or, how can I go around it, but yet have the tools that I really do need? Like I went ahead and did WorkPoint. It's helped to some extent, but
You're so
it's,
close, though. You're so close to the
oh
success.
yeah, I think so. I think so. I'm feeling more positive about
Right,
it. I'm going to look at the what Koty's talked about um and put these into practice.
right. And and when you get stuck and you may have a dilemma or a question, you have Koty, you have me, you have the Discord of over 80 people who
Oh
are
yeah,
always willing to help you.
absolutely.
And I want, just as I just want to see you succeed, and I want to hear you very soon say, guys, I reached my number. I
Mm.
can't believe it. Thank you. And then let's see where that takes you. But
So
I want it so bad for you.
how much would it take to do $100 a day?
I'll tell you this: you can do
That's
a
I
hundred.
love that question.
You could do $100 a day on Amazon if you're doing the right inventory. Between 800 and 1,000 books, you can net $100 a day profit. Between 800 and 1,000 books is very, very reasonable to do.
And you've mentioned, and you wrote it in your questions that you have tons of bread and butter books.
Yes, I do.
So that tells me you're buying bread and butter books.
Right.
Are these Amazon type bread and butter books or eBay type? Like what makes them bread and butter in your mind?
Uh, right now, I would say my mind is still wired into eBay. So I think eBay when I think of that. And a lot of them are the sets, which I'm very bad at this. I have boxes of books that I need to put into sets. I
Right.
need to just do it and let go.
Koty, can we
Do
give
it
her
and
a
let
chance?
go.
real quick, when you say
Yes.
sets, are you saying like necessarily these are a set of books, or are you also saying sets and books that are in lots?
Oh, no. So I'm saying books that are in a series. For
Okay,
example, the Cat Who books
okay.
by Lillian Jackson Braun. I now have a complete set. I
Yeah.
built a complete, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yes.
so
And
I
how much
have
does that
that.
sell for? How much does that complete set sell for?
Good question at this point, 70s, 80.
So
But they're books.
almost your daily number.
Yeah. So it's what I've been putting, I see it, I pick it up, I put it in a box.
Right,
And then I've kept track. I know what I have.
right.
So now it's just, I've given up a lot of, the
You're
only
right
thing I haven't
there.
given up is
You're
reading.
right
I'm
there.
not
Yeah,
even doing Lego, guys. I'm not
and
even building
But
my
listen,
Lego.
listen, you have this set of books that sells for 70 to
Yes,
$80 unlisted, and now you're asking Koty and I, what does it take to make $100 a day?
I know. You don't
Koty
think
will
about
tell you
it
to
in
go
that
look in the
way. You
boxes.
don't.
Go look in the boxes.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I've got them. I've got them together. I just need to put them up.
yeah, obviously, yes, you can do it that, but I think you have a not frustration, a roadblock too that I've had, and I think a lot of people have, which is maybe hate's a strong word, but you don't like listing. You don't like that process. You love finding it, but the
Mhm.
process of getting it up is not fun. It's not something you enjoy. Which I lied. I'm gonna say it again. When you get your stuff up and you make that process faster and easier on Amazon, if if you get too close to that number, right, you can start
Mhm.
paying somebody to do this stuff for you. Okay.
Yeah, I do. Remember e-commerce listers. I don't know if they do Amazon though.
No, I'm
They
saying no,
do eBay.
do the whole nine yards. You're not
Uh,
taking pictures. You're not doing all you're doing is sourcing. That's what you can turn your
mhm.
entire job into is just sourcing, which I feel like that is what you love to do about this business as a whole is
Yeah,
finding that stuff. So
yeah,
if you can really push yourself to not source, clear yourself out. Once you're clear and you can get, I would say you need a week. Because I understand, trust me, I understand more than a lot of people probably would on having family members and taking care of that. Instead of maybe a hour by hour daily planner, have a weekly planner of this needs
mhm,
to be done by the end of the week. You have something start on every single day. You don't have to put it to a time commitment, but say
mhm.
Monday I'm pulling books. Tuesday I'm going to the store and dropping,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like have it
I
and
did.
you can move
I
that
did
stuff
start that.
around. Well, good,
It's
good.
funny because I did start that. I wish I had it in front of me. I have it in another room, but I started a journal just for the reselling, journal, just keeping track. Okay, what am I doing? Here's photographing, blah, blah, blah. And the cover says, make it happen. So I had to get that for the reselling. I thought you'd like that, Max. Make it happen, which is what I am trying to do. I'm trying to make it happen. And so this has helped a lot to sort of
It,
really
it's
zero in on what I need to do.
it's all stuff that you already know. I think all the answers to this. It's
Mhm.
true. It truly is just you'll fail either way if you don't try, right? So yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
maybe it'll fail, right? There's always the chance of it failing, when you
Mhm.
do it. But if you don't do it, it's going to fail one way or the
Well, I
other.
did
So
that. I did that when I became an independent publisher. It was like, if I don't do this now, I was president of the largest independent writers group west of the Mississippi. And I had this idea for a book that I really wanted to get out and do and start a publishing company. And I thought, if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? And I was 40 at the time. And I decided, okay, I'm gonna go all in. A lot of this other stuff has to wait. And I had kids and the whole thing and a new relationship, and I still did this book. I was up at 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, working by little light, and I did get that book out. And then people, of course, wanted me to help them, and I'm like, no, I can't do that because I only have so much time. And I did do it, but it was the mindset, if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it?
sure.
And I did do it, and I was successful at it. I feel sad it didn't last longer, but I was successful at it, so I have to say that.
Good. Yeah. No,
I just
So
feel like you're running half the race. You're doing all the right things on the first half of the race, but you're
mhm,
not you're not finishing.
yeah. And
okay.
don't feel like this is unique to you, okay? I would
Mhm,
say 90% of the people that we've talked to, this is the exact problem that they have is
yeah, and I sense that.
they love to source, they don't like to list, and
Right.
stuff piles up. And that's the that is the main roadblock with most resellers of any item in general. Much
Mhm,
less, even more so on books because of how easy it is for them to pile up. And
right.
it's not an abnormal, but you just have to be willing to push yourself past, get out of your comfort zone, and
Yeah,
and make those leaps because like with the Amazon stuff on my side, there not only do you have us that you can reach out and talk to,
yeah.
but any of the listing tools, you can watch a video and have an understanding of how to do it within half an hour.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can't imagine trying to start this from scratch and not have a team of mentors behind you or people that you could talk to. And that's what's opened this up. This whole thing to begin with is that I do know you guys are there, and other people are there, and that's the beauty of it. I just had one of our members, Kevin Parr. He is helping me with the comics. He's a
Mhm.
comic guy. He's always been a comic, and
Kevin's great.
yeah, and he's like, hey, anytime, just ask me a question. And I'm like, that's so cool. I feel like, okay, I can do a lot of this my own, but if I have a question, I do have people to reach out to that I'm comfortable reaching out to. It's not just some unknown person,
Yeah.
on YouTube or something or whatever. So it's awesome for that. And it is that I need to finish. I've already done the other stuff. And I have talked to myself about this. Yes, if there is a book sale, there's a book sale, but there will be more book sales.
Right.
So if I don't go and pick up more books, it's okay because I already have a lot of books to go through.
But once you get through all of that, you can go to every book sale that you want to, you
Right,
know.
right.
At that point you will have that freedom to because it just goes to show how big of an anchor this is to you because it's keeping you from
Mm-hmm,
doing something that you really, really want to do.
mm-hmm.
So, it's we
Max
can
was
keep.
going to say something. What
Oh,
were you
go ahead,
going to
No, I
say?
Max.
just I think that Cody and I process a lot of books every day in both of our businesses, but we're probably on the road 5 to 6 days a week, Cody. Easy.
Yeah.
Because we know we can process quickly and and Cody says this all the time, we have a system in place in our businesses. We can enjoy the pleasure of hunting because we know whatever we hunt, we're going to go through in our different ways
Mm-hmm.
to get the good stuff listed. Um, and I think that really essentially is the only thing you're missing right now is going through all of this back stuff that's building up around
Yes.
the storage unit. If I
Yeah.
think you can do this rather quickly, relieve yourself of that anchor that's dragging you down,
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to hit that $100 a day or more number so quickly. I think you're going to hate yourself for not having done what you know you needed to do before coming on this show to talk to us, to hear it from us.
Well, I will be transparent. I did start doing some of what you've talked about, Koty and Max,
Great.
where I was like, okay, I have to start really doing that. And I put together like 5 sets, or what I call them, it's full series of a particular, um, it could be like Wrinkle in Time, but it's not,
Right.
but things like that. So
Right.
a lot of them are Dragonlance, and people go nuts over that series in the when they're in the particular. All of these science fiction things, there'll be a universe, but within the universe are sub-universes.
Right.
So when you can put together a series of books from a sub-universe, people go bananas. So I just did that. I said, they're sitting here. I know they're here. I pulled them, so they're going to get photographed. Half of them are photographed. And then I'm going to send them to the lister, and then I'm going to move on to the next things I got to go through and keep going. Because I already have the inventory. I just have to really focus on it.
You have
Yeah.
the inventory, you have the software. The only thing you don't have, which most people don't have, is time.
Right.
Now you just have to leverage yourself to get the stuff done.
Right.
There's nothing greater than waking up in the morning knowing you're succeeding at your business. You already know this. You were a businesswoman. Okay. It is important to Koty and I that you make this happen now and do what you're not doing, because that's
Right.
what's in your way of success.
By the time I'm 66, that means the end of August. We got to be doing this. I have to be doing this so that I'm making that. So that's, I mean,
you're there. You're there.
I would make one final point too. If you can really push yourself and get to, where your business is starting to profit you more. I already made that point earlier, which was getting somebody to do these listings for you and handle that. I think having that in your pocket is going to make you, because I know it did for me. I know it did for Max. That's what allows that, right? That alone is what allows Max and I to be on the road 5 to 6 times a week. If we didn't have a lister, we would not be on the road 5 to 6 times a week. It wouldn't be possible. And with the eBay side, a shipper as well. So, that is a goal that maybe that might help you push yourself, is like, if I can really push myself to get this number, to get to where it's making money, I can afford to pay somebody to do the stuff that I don't want to do, and allow you to continue to enjoy your business. Enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah. Because we Koty, I can tell you this, because Koty and I speak 25 times a day. We thoroughly enjoy talking about the books the same way we love talking on Paper Gold at 8 o'clock on Thursday nights. And I would love for you to have more time to covet those books, that niche subject you love, that you're probably not even getting enough time with right now.
Yeah.
And so Koty has set you up today. He sets you up with the plan of attack of what you need to do. There are no excuses after today. There are no excuses.
Oh, darn.
This is why you're on. It's a little bit of tough love sometimes on these shows.
Yeah. I'm going to edit again because I'm tearing. Koty, it's just the yelling. It's just, I'm telling you.
I warned you ahead of time.
It's Koty's fault. It's Koty's fault.
I just, it's so interesting to me because, and I'll say it for the 5th time on this show, you're right there. You're around the corner of success. You just have to do that one hurdle you don't want to do right now because you haven't developed that consistency.
Right.
Start it, move forward. You have the group, you have Koty, and you have yourself in your back pocket. We want nothing more than for your success. And I think that your $100 a day could be double or triple of that. And again, that is life-changing.
Yeah.
And if you start doing the stuff with, even if you don't sell it on Amazon, I really hope that I see in the Daily Finds channel that you're sharing screenshots of your Scoutly
Sir.
finds from inside your storage unit at least once a day. It doesn't have to be a bunch, just one book at a day. It doesn't have to be $100 book. That when you start doing that too, that is also a good
Yeah.
motivator to keep yourself finding the motivation. That any little thing you can do to motivate yourself is going
Right.
to help push you in that direction. When you're bogged down and you're weighed down and it's hard to find motivation. It really, I'm speaking from experience because I was there. Before I had
Mhm.
met Max, I was bogged down with so much shit. It's unbelievable how much stuff I had because
You
I
know, you
knew
have
there
to
was
edit that.
value. Nah, we're on the dark side of YouTube. It's fine. But 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 it I had stuff I knew it had value, but I didn't have the time. So then I started shipping stuff to Max, saved myself that time, learning from Max, learning what stuff to not even, deal with anymore, how to start valuing that. When you're bogged down, I know what it does to you mentally, even if you don't realize it in that moment. But once you're
Right.
free from it, then you realize how much it weighed on you, because it really does. It really weighs on you.
Yeah.
And it's not going to get better until you change it.
Mhm.
Really.
Oh, absolutely. I have to be responsible for the change. So
So
that's
I
for sure.
do I want to ask you one more question.
Sure.
I know we're at that hour point, and Cody and I like to stay at an hour. You made mention that you have difficulty finding those $100 books.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know that in the Discord of our Patreon group that we have a lot of people finding $100 books,
Hmm.
$200 books, and so on and so forth. What is it that you think prevents you from finding those $100 books based on what you see from other sellers?
I'm not sure. I mean, I've thought about it, and is it a mental thing? Is it whatever? For example, I did go through a thrift store and they had old books, no ISBNs. And I thought, oh, there's got to be something in here. And I was looking and using the tools and everything, and I found a $30 book maybe.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I don't get it. I know that I'm attracted to the other books, but I have purposely walked away from them to look at other
Right.
things and other genres and whatever. And I don't know. I think maybe it's time. Maybe I'm not spending enough time trying to find them. I'm not
But,
sure.
I,
right,
I
but
think I think it's probably more so that you're spending it's taking you too much time per book that you're doing to find them, right?
Hmm.
So but that is only going to get better the more you do it,
Mhm.
because you not only will you be faster at that process, but you'll be able to see with your eyes what stuff to go ahead and pass, right? You'll be
Right.
able to see stuff that you know not to even touch because you're like, I know that's not something that's going to be worth me doing this research on. And none of that will get better until you just keep putting it into action. And each time you do it, you're going to learn. As long as you tell yourself, I need to take away something new that I'm to learn from each
Yeah.
book, that time is the knowledge you gain can be just as valuable, if not more valuable, than the 30, 40, $50 books you'll find at that sale.
I just think that she probably has $100 books on her shelves that, that are
So-
that are part of her personal collection of science
oh,
slash
well,
fantasy.
yeah, I have one that's signed by an astronaut, but
Yes.
I'm not going to
And
give it up.
so I know you have them, but Cody, I also think that once she starts doing what we're asking her to do, she may very well find a couple $100 books in those stacks that she's just isn't aware of yet.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Well, I hope so. That would
Yeah,
be
the
fun.
odds are you do, based
Yeah.
off of what you're saying,
Yeah.
just percentage wise, the likelihood is pretty high. So,
That'll be fun when I post in there.
Yeah,
yeah.
that would be
I can finally say it.
well. The one great thing about that sort of a Hall of Fame or that Wall of Fame we have with $100 books, 200, 500, and 1,000 is the varied subject matter of all of those books.
Hmm.
It's just amazing what the encyclopedia of dollar value on some of these books.
Mind is blown every time I look. and
Yeah.
see what people pick up.
So yeah, you're gonna find them. You may find them in your house, I think. And we're going to come back to you in 3 months.
Okay.
So you have 90 days now,
Oh
89
my God.
counting,
On the clock.
before you come back to, I guess it's going to be episode 20, I guess. And we get a report on your progress, because this is all part of it, is reporting on your
Right.
progress
Mm-hmm.
and seeing what you've learned from the changes you've made and are going to make.
Right.
And then I promise I will be less coach mode and more loving, and Koty will stop yelling at you and making you cry.
Oh, Koty, well,
I can't promise.
it's
I
been
can't
rough.
promise that. I'm not gonna.
It's been rough. It's been rough.
You
So,
know it's all out of love. You know
Oh,
it's all
yeah.
out of love.
Koty prefaced this. It's out of love. It's out of love, even though I'm yelling at you. I'm like, okay, I got it. I got it.
no, it's all out of love, and we love having you in the group. We love seeing you on Thursday nights. You're a very intricate member of that group, and
Yes.
we want to see you progress.
You're a core
It's
member of the
it's
group.
great.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. No, it's great because this does help me. Again, I like to see it as a plan of action, but things to do to see what I will come up with. And it's not like I can't do them financially or time-wise. I think I can. So it's not like, oh my God, I can't pay my gas bill tomorrow.
Right.
I mean, is it going to kill me? Is it painful to pay the gas bill? Yes. But can I pay it? Yes. So there's no reason why I can't do what Koty and you are talking about. So,
Well, you have 90 days to prove
oh boy, I'm
yourself.
gonna. Yep.
I would like to preface, a side thing with that 90 days. I would like to see you no longer pay for a storage unit by the end of that 90
Wow.
days.
Look at that. He's throwing the
Ouch.
gauntlet. He's throwing the gauntlet
I
down.
don't know if that'll happen, but we'll see.
It is if you're not going to other cells and you're processing what you have, even if you're doing a very small amount every single day, unless you have a storage unit that is for an entire house, you can do it. You can do a small amount a day and get that done.
All right, we'll see.
Yep, you got us in your corner, so you're good.
Thank
So
you.
with that, we're going to conclude the show. Thank you, everybody, coming for episode 10. We will
Thank you.
revisit episode 20 and see how you're doing.
Oh gosh.
And yeah, oh gosh, but I guarantee you will make the progress and the goals that you wanted. And thank you for allowing us to talk to you about your business.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, allowing us to deep dive. And I know sometimes it gets a little uncomfortable, but the purpose is for your success.
It's great. Thank you so much.
Have a great day, and we will see you Thursday
too.
night. Bye-bye.
All right. See you Thursday. Bye.
Bye.